What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Swarthy Wizard for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. Much respect to him for showing love to Too Raw for TV. All right, so this is a comparison that he saw on Instagram. And it's I'm assuming this is like a 7-game series. One of these what if scenarios. And that is an all-time 5-ring team versus an all-time 4-ring team. And who wins? Now, to be honest with you, I don't know what in the hell Draymond Green is doing on here, but whatever. That was the scenario that was given because you could throw in, honestly, James Worthy, right? I think Worthy had 4, right? He had 4. Did he have? No, he had 3. Well, you could throw in Kevin. No, Kevin McHale didn't have 4. There's somebody definitely else other than Draymond Green you could put in this scenario at the power forward position. Hell, I put Horace Grant over there over him, but whatever. That's just my opinion. But for the all-time 5-ring team, you have Tim Duncan at center, although he's primarily known as a power forward. He did play about half his career at the center position. Power forward, you have Dennis Rodman. Small forward, Michael Cooper. Shooting guard, Kobe Bryant. Point guard, Magic Johnson. For the all-time 4-ring team, at center you have Shaquille O'Neal. Power forward, Draymond Green. Small forward, LeBron James. Shooting guard, Klay Thompson. Point guard, Steph Curry. Now, I'm thinking that even though Curry is the point guard, more than likely, because of what would probably be best for the team, primary ball handling duties would be handled by LeBron James, but not always. Now, I have all these guys pretty much in their primes. So I got 2000 Shaq. You could argue LeBron with Cleveland, but I tend to think his absolute peak was in Miami. So it's 2013 LeBron. You can make an argument that Dennis Rodman's prime was actually with the Pistons, but I'll just go with 96 Rodman here. 96 Rodman. This 87 Magic. Let's just say that's 2003 Duncan, even though the hair makes it look like he's more around late 2000s, 2010. 87 Cooper. And Kobe, let's say it's him in 2008. Okay. All right. So, all-time 4-ring team have a definite advantage as far as shooting, in particular 3-point shooting. Matter of fact, they have two of arguably the greatest 3-point shooters the game has ever seen. All right. Stephen Curry is generally considered the greatest 3-point shooter, and Klay Thompson is probably the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter, especially before the injuries, that I've ever seen. All right. LeBron James is not an elite 3-point shooter, but he's good enough so that you got to respect his shot. You know what I'm saying? Last night he went what? Didn't he go like 7 or 10 last night from downtown? So you definitely got to respect his outside shot. Draymond Green, even though he's not an offensive player, he has definitely improved his outside stroke the last 2 seasons, in general. And that's going to be a key factor in this matchup, in my opinion. Shaq is Shaq. Now, Shaq is not going to be as dominant, in my opinion, if you're playing by today's rules, because guys just can't stay in the paint like they used to. You know what I'm saying? Guys, big men just cannot really camp in the post and work their magic like they used to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Hell, when I say back in the day, hell, even just 10, 15 years ago. But that's their advantage. All-time five-ring team advantage, I would say, is defense. Tim Duncan, obviously. Some people even will say that Tim Duncan should have won a Defensive Player of the Year in his career. Michael Cooper won the 87 Defensive Player of the Year award. Dennis Rodman won 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, one of the great defenders of all time. Kobe was 9 times all defense first team. Magic Johnson is not necessarily noted as an elite defender. I would say he was average. But he did lead the league in steals twice, so he's good in getting the passing lanes. So they have a definite advantage in that department. And there's no question that Magic Johnson will be the primary ball handler and facilitator for all-time five-ring team. I think the biggest thing that's going to have to be adjustments for all-time five-ring team is Kobe. Kobe's going to probably, for spacing, I mean, don't get me wrong, Kobe's probably still going to have his moments, especially down the stretch. He's going to, be in situations where he's ISO doing his thing, being a bucket getter for his club. But I tend to think more or less he's going to have to adjust to being more of, a mid-range shooter. Probably even in some situations, when he's playing with Magic, being more off the ball. Because you can't really have Kobe because of spacing issue, because you're going to have primarily Tim Duncan and Dennis Rodman down low. All right. I'm kind of hesitant because I'm trying to think while I'm talking, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think while I'm talking how this would play out. Tim Duncan and Dennis Rodman are going to be down low for the most part. Although, you can't just camp down low, but still, they're going to tend to be in the paint. Dennis Rodman is not a scorer. All right. Dennis Rodman's job is going to be rebounding and playing defense. He doesn't really have a three-point shot, so he's going to be playing defense and rebounding. Because of the nature of the game, I think Dennis is going to be more of his rebound is going to be the fact that he can clear out so much space. He can cover so much space, I should say, in his rebounding style. I think that he'll chase down a lot of rebounds. And Dennis Rodman, I also remember him being a really good outlet passer. That would, I think, give the all-time five-ring team some easy buckets, especially with a guy like, in the backcourt, Kobe Bryant, even Michael Cooper. That'll help them out, as far as getting some easier buckets, because their shooting is not going to be anywhere near on par with the all-time four-ring team. The only guys that really could knock down threes in any consistency are Kobe and Michael Cooper. I think Cooper probably be their best shooter, actually, from outside. He's a pretty good three-point shooter. Now, I think, when you look at the era he played in, he shot 34%, which was above league average. Because in the era that he played in, teams were probably shooting 32, 33%, 31%. So, I know I'm doing a lot of what-ifs here, but I tend to think if he was playing today's league with the amount of focus on that shot and practice and repetition, I think Coop probably be like 39, 40% from three. So he'll probably be their main guy as far as shooting. Kobe was never really a great three-point shooter. Sometimes he took contested threes. Sometimes he just took bad shots. but he was never a great 3-point shooter. But I tend to think that their athleticism, their quickness, and their defensive prowess would pose a problem for all-time four-ring team. The physicality, if they're allowed to be physical, that's going to pose a problem. Shaq versus Tim Duncan. Nobody can really stop Shaq. Okay, you just can't. But I don't know if in today's basketball, Shaq can just ragdoll a dude. You know what I'm saying? Putting his elbow, putting his elbows in dudes. You know what I'm saying? Using that shoulder to, you know what I'm saying, to bum rush to the basket. He's going to be called for fouls. So that's going to be one thing I think Shaq had a problem with playing this era, is adjusting to the fact he couldn't be as physical. Don't get me wrong, he's going to still get away with some stuff, but the over physicality of his prime, you know what I'm saying? No, they're not going to let him do that. Or he's going to get in foul trouble. We saw a little bit of that when he was playing with the Boston Celtics. So I think he'll make adjustments to that. Still, though, Shaq will be a dominant force. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't stop the guy. If he gets within 5 feet of the basket, 4 feet of the basket, it's going to probably more likely be a bucket. His Achilles heel is still the free throw line. So, that could be a strategy, especially late game situations. Tim Duncan is probably still going to get his. All right. He's not probably going to be as efficient going against Shaq, but he's still going to get his. He's still going to get his 20 and 10. One of the intriguing matchups to me is Draymond Green and Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was the master of the mind games. If Draymond Green can hold his composure going against Dennis Rodman, because we know the games Dennis Rodman plays, if he can hold his composure and consistently outscore Dennis Rodman, then we know that Draymond's not going to sit and average 20 more than likely. More than likely. But as I said before, Draymond can stretch out the floor now. Dennis, that's not his thing. Dennis may actually have to concede Draymond shooting threes. And if Draymond has a series where he's actually shooting something akin to 40% from downtown, which is not impossible, not this version of Draymond now, that could be a deciding X factor. Because Dennis Rodman's not going to match, for them more than likely, Draymond Green's offensive output in that situation. Like I said, he's not going to average 20, but if Draymond can average like 12, 13 points a night, that's going to be a bad sign for an all-time 5-ring team. You know what I'm saying? Dennis is probably not going to get you no more than 4 or 5 points a night. That's not what he does. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, Dennis is going to get you like 4 or 5 points. I still think in this scenario, he's going to get you like 15 rebounds a night and give you hard-nosed defense and other intangibles that you can't measure on the stat sheet. LeBron James. Man, if we are in a situation where you actually can guard somebody, because I'm trying to with the defensive rules, I'm trying to basically mesh it, come to a compromise. I don't want it to be to the point where you can't totally guard anybody, but at the same time, this ain't the early 2000s. Nobody's going to stop LeBron James. And this is the problem I see for the all-time 5-ring team. And this is why I tend to think all-time 4-ring team going to win, man. If you got Clay and Steph out on the perimeter, you got to respect that. You got to respect those dudes. So Kobe, Magic, I'm going to be honed in on those guys. Even with Tim Duncan and Dennis Rodman down low, Michael Cooper's not going to be able to contain LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron's still going to be driving to the basket, you know what I'm saying? With the lanes opening up, because there's going to be so much attention on Steph and Clay, LeBron's going to be a problem. LeBron's going to be a big problem in this series. Y'all know I don't like the dude, but I got to be honest. He's going to, I mean, never mind the fact that he can score, you know what I'm saying, by himself or whatever, right? But if he's driving to the basket, it opens up a totally new dimension. God respects his drive, because the guy can yam on you, get an and one, get the free throw line, or drive and dish, all of that. So if you're driving to the basket, you know, getting dunks or and ones, because he can handle Tim Duncan or Dennis Rodman's physicality. I think he can handle those guys' physicality. If he starts doing that, then they're gonna start doubling him. And then if you start doubling him while he's doing that, then you can start leaving Clay and all those other guys, Steph, open. And you know, that's gonna be the thing. That's the thing, man. Plus with Kobe, man, as great as he is, all-time 5-ring team, I don't think they can handle any off nights with their shooting. And Kobe, you know what I'm saying, he was a great player, but he could sometimes have off shooting nights, you know. You can't afford him to really go, you know, he not get as many shots in this situation. And he may not get the shots that you want, but you know, if he's going 4 for 12, come on, can't have that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe this is a minority opinion, but I tend to think that all-time 4-ring team win this series 4-2. I got it 4-2. Now, obviously, this team doesn't have a bench, so I reduced the quarters to about 8 minutes instead of 12 minutes, you know, as far as these games are concerned. But ultimately, yeah, I tend to think all-time 4-ring team beats the all-time 5-ring team. I mean, you got Shaq. You know, I even really, and I'm kind of like downplaying Shaq because I'm thinking about today's rules, right? But if they play, even if they play by 90s rules, damn, Shaq becomes unstoppable. Shaq becomes even more unstoppable. And even though we know LeBron isn't the best at, you know, taking physicality, LeBron's still going to be. Look, man, I'm not going to sit and act like I don't remember LeBron from Cleveland yamming on goddamn KG when he was going against the Celtics. And, you know what I'm saying, going against the Pistons in the mid-2000s. Like, he's still going to be a phenomenal player, even in those rules. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how I got it, man. 4-2, all-time 4-ring team, I think, beats all-time 5-ring team. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.